Hi students, welcome. So today we are going to see the structure of digestive system. In previous episodes we have seen different types of teeth, different types of papillae and different types of taste buds, something like that. And now let us begin the structure of human digestive system. And of course, as I said, it begins with the mouth and ends with the anus. And if you observe the length of alimentary canal starting from mouth to anus, it will be around 30 feet, 30 feet. And this is the esophagus, the long pipe which is present in the neck region, and the portion what you are seeing here, this is trachea. Just behind this esophagus is present. Esophagus present on the dorsal surface of the neck, and esophagus shows the longitudinal foldings also in order to accommodate the food material like this. I mentioned in the previous classes also, and there is a sphincter present here and there is a sphincter present here also. The beginning portion of esophagus contains upper esophageal sphincter and lower portion of esophagus contains lower esophageal sphincter. Like the two types of sphincters are present, and the function of sphincter is always, remember my dear friends, whenever you come across the word sphincter means it is always regulating the passage of the food material. So here the food material enters from mouth and it enters into the next portion. What is that next portion? Means esophagus. See here, like this the food enters into esophagus. I told you that at the end of the soft palate, uvula is present, and uvula will be lifted when you are swallowing the food material in order to prevent the upward movement or backward movement of the food material. The uvula will be closed like this. It will move like this. It closes the internal nostrils. So the food material enters into the beginning or first portion of esophagus. What is the beginning or first portion of esophagus? Called gullet. G-U-L-L-E-T. Gullet. So the gullet is nothing but G-U-L-L-E-T, gullet. The beginning portion of esophagus is called gullet. The beginning portion of trachea is called glottis, which is covered by a lid-like structure called epiglottis. Whenever you are swallowing the food material, the food material should not enter into this trachea. See, just for your understanding, imagine now this is the neck area, and this is an area where the trachea is present, and this is an area esophagus, and this is the beginning portion of esophagus, and this is beginning portion of the trachea, and this is the mouth. When you are swallowing the food material should not enter into the trachea, isn't it? This is an area for the passage of air, not the food material. So there will be a lid-like structure, just a diagrammatic representation. There will be a lid-like structure which closes the trachea. When we are swallowing the food material, then epiglottis, lid-like structure, closes the glottis. The beginning portion of trachea is called glottis. So that lid-like portion is going to cover the glottis. That is the reason why the food won't enter into the trachea. And that's it. This is called deglutition. Swallowing is called deglutition. D-E-G-L-U-T-I-T-I-O-N, deglutition. So when you swallow the food material, then it shouldn't enter into the trachea. That is the reason why this epiglottis closes the glottis. So the food material takes a diversion and enters into the esophagus. So the beginning portion is called gullet. The first part, it enters here. So esophagus is present on the dorsal side, and this is the trachea present on the ventral side. For example, if any dust particle or any food particle enters into this trachea, generally when we are taking the food material, we won't take silently. We used to talk continuously, especially at the time of feeding. Students generally will speak in the mess also continuously when they are taking the food material, or even in the homes or in classrooms also. Whenever they are taking food material, they used to talk. The students will talk. So at the time of talking and swallowing, see the food material, you are swallowing the food material, it means epiglottis should close. Whenever you are speaking, the air has to come out through the glottis, isn't it? So the air is coming out. In order to air to pump outside, epiglottis should open, and when the food material is coming, it should close. You are talking, epiglottis should move, epiglottis should open. You are swallowing food material, epiglottis should close. So in this opening and closing, sometimes there is a chance of having the entry of food particle into your trachea also. So you will get the cough. Okay, so that type of that is a regurgitation action in order to send that food particle again into the mouth region the body exhibit a reflex action, that is nothing but the cough. So anyhow, the main point here is the food material should enter into the esophagus, and this is upper esophageal sphincter, and this one has lower esophageal sphincter, lower esophageal sphincter. Okay, let me clear this. The lower esophageal sphincter allows the passage of the food material slowly into the stomach. So here this is present. This is the lower esophageal sphincter, and which is present near to the heart. That is the reason that why it is also called cardiac sphincter, I mentioned in previous classes. And see the stomach. The stomach is the J-shaped bag-like structure. You can see a J-shaped bag. That's it. Beautiful. So stomach, which is present on the left side part of your abdominal region. Stomach is different. Abdominal cavity is different. Stomach is different. Abdomen is different. And this is thoracic region, and this is abdominal region. And here esophagus, here diaphragm is present, where the esophagus pierces through this diaphragm and opens into the stomach. So stomach is present on the left side of your body, and the stomach shows a J-shaped bag. You can see the J-shaped bag. Let me show you that J-shaped bag to you again here. Okay. Now say this one, just I will try to represent this one as an esophagus, and this one, this is an area. So lesser omentum, greater omentum, concavity is present here, convexity is present here, and this is an area which is supposed to be having the sphincter. This is an area, here the sphincter is present, and this is the first part of the stomach called cardiac stomach, and this one is CARDIAC, because it is present nearer to the heart. And second one, this elevation, this is called fundus or fundic part of stomach. This is the second part of the stomach, and this is the major area. This is the third one called body of stomach. And the next one, this one has the fourth one, pylorus, which is also called pyloric part of stomach, the fourth part of the stomach. So stomach is divided into four areas. The first one here, this one, this is called cardiac stomach. I will take another color. Okay, so this is the first part of stomach, and cardiac stomach, and this is the fundus, and this is the body, and followed by fourth one, pyloric part of stomach. Like that, four parts, you can see clearly four parts. So esophagus opens into the cardiac part of stomach, and here there will be an elevation like this. So students will think this is the first part of stomach in the examination. No, it's not like that. Fundus is not the first part of stomach. Cardiac is the first part of stomach. It shows an elevation like this, like this. So this is the second part of stomach, followed by this one is the third part of the stomach, and then pylorus, antrum, pyloric antrum. This is an area, and once again here there will be another sphincter present, and this sphincter present here is called pyloric sphincter. You may ask me, what is the basic function of this cardiac sphincter and pyloric sphincter? Just now I mentioned this as cardiac sphincter, SPHINCTER, and this one as pyloric, PYLORIC, sphincter. The function of cardiac sphincter, generally I mentioned, see there is a groove, there is a concavity like this. There is a chance of having backward flow of food material again into the esophagus. So in order to prevent the backward flow of food material, the cardiac sphincter is going to play a crucial role. And this is the pyloric sphincter. The food material will stay inside the stomach at least minimum for 4 to 5 hours. Okay, slowly food material, little by little, it passes to the next portion called next portion of intestine. The first part of the intestine is duodenum. Slowly food material should enter into the duodenum. Once you take the food material, entire food won't go into the duodenum. If at all it happens like so, what happens? Your stomach will become empty. Again, you will take the food material. Previously taken food material was not yet digested, but again if you take the second dose, it will become burden to the body. So stomach will think all this. Slowly, little by little, food material enters into the duodenum. Okay, so the function of stomach is to store the food material at least for a minimum period of 4 to 5 hours. And pyloric sphincter plays a very important role in slow passage of the food material from stomach to the duodenum. So let us move to the duodenum. Small intestine is basically divided into three parts. You can see the three parts here. Let me change the color. Small intestine shows three parts. See this one. C-shaped bag is duodenum. Duodenum is a C-shaped bag. Stomach is a J-shaped one. J-shaped sac-like structure stomach, and duodenum is C-shaped. And in the loop of that C, imagine this is duodenum C, in that loop pancreas is present, which is second largest digestive gland in the human being body, followed by the liver. Liver is the first largest digestive gland. And this duodenum is C. It is C-shaped, which measures something around 25 centimeters. Esophagus is also around 25 centimeters. Don't bother about numericals, my dear friends. Forget the numericals. Just for creating some sort of interest or awareness, I am mentioning the numericals. Forget the numericals. Nobody is going to ask you what is the length of duodenum, what is the length of ileum, what is the length of rectum. No. Why? Because in some books it will mention in one type, in another book the numerical was given differently. So on an average it will changes. But overall length will be around 30 feet starting from mouth to anus. So don't bother about the numericals. Nobody is going to ask you in the examination. Okay, just for your understanding. Duodenum is a 25 centimeters pipe where it opens into coiled portion, highly coiled portion. What is that coiled portion? Jejunum. You can see the jejunum. So jejunum is around 8 feet in length. Jejunum is around 8 feet in length. Okay, and then we will see a highly coiled portion again called ileum, which will be around 11 feet. See, 11 feet ileum, 8 feet jejunum, and duodenum is 25 centimeters. You may ask me 25 centimeters here, 8 feet here, 11 feet here, but still we are calling it as a small intestine. Yes, why? Because the width, the diameter will be less, especially the width will be less. That is the reason why it is called small intestine, but length will be more than large intestine. Let us move to the large intestine. Once again, small intestine is divided into three parts: C-shaped duodenum, coiled portion jejunum 8 feet, and highly coiled portion is ileum. See, jejunum means empty. After the death of the person, the jejunum will become empty. That is the reason why the name was given like that. And duodenum means 12 finger. That is the actual meaning, but ileum is highly coiled. Remember the spelling, I-L-E-U-M. I-L-I-U-M is nothing but the bone, iliac bone. I-L-E-U-M, ileum is a highly coiled portion. So these are the three parts of small intestine. Let us move to the large intestine. Here you can see cecum, a small blind sac. This is the cecum, this one. This is the cecum, which hosts symbiotic microorganisms. The food material what the human being may contains even cellulose also, but cellulose is not able to digest even for the human beings because cellulase enzyme is not produced in the human being body. Even though cellulase enzyme is not produced, cellulase enzyme is supplied by these microorganisms which are present in the gut. They are present very less in number, and the cecum, which is around 5 centimeters, one end of the cecum shows wormiform appendix, which will be around 8 centimeters. So it is in the form of a worm shape, worm, W-O-R-M, worm shape. That is the reason why it is called vermiform appendix. This is called vestigial organ. There is a small story behind this vermiform appendix I will tell. So cecum, which hosts symbiotic microorganisms, which in turn opens into, this is ascending colon, which will be around 10 centimeters, and then transverse colon around 50 centimeters, and this is descending colon around 10 centimeters, and fourth one is sigmoid colon around 50 centimeters. How many types of colon? Number 1 ascending colon, number 2 transverse colon, number 3 descending colon, number 4 sigmoid colon, which opens into the rectum, which will be around 20 centimeters, 20, 23, 24, something like that, which opens into the anus, which will be around 4 centimeters. Anus in turn opens into anal canal, which will be around 2 to 3 centimeters. This is anal canal, and here there is a sphincter, here there will be another sphincter, and this is called internal anal sphincter, IAS, and this one is external anal sphincter. That is not standard abbreviation. Internal anal sphincter, external anal sphincter. Internal anal sphincter is made with smooth muscle. Okay, so it is not going to listen your words. Whereas external anal sphincter is made with skeletal muscle. For God's sake, isn't it? Skeletal muscle. It is made with the skeletal muscle. So it is in our control. We are able to control the anal opening. We are able to control the process of defecation because of having the skeletal muscle we are able to control. So external anal sphincter is made with skeletal muscle, internal anal sphincter is made with smooth muscle. And you can see some foldings here, isn't it? Some long bands are observed. 3 long bands are observed over this colon. They are called tinea coli. They are nothing but smooth muscular bands. There is one smooth muscular band here, another smooth muscular band, another smooth muscular band here. Hope so it is visible. Let me show you with a different color. This one, and this is the muscular band. So these muscular bands are nothing but tinea coli, and here you can see beaded appearance like this. They are called haustre. The beaded appearance is because of the foldings of muscle and haustre, H-A-U-S-T-R-A-E. So the foldings are called, the tight foldings are called haustre, and long bands are called tinea coli. And here fat is also present over the stomach and also over the intestine. That is a different story. So that's how we can begin with the mouth and ends with the anus. So many other structures are present, especially in the wall of large intestine. So here I have wall of small intestine also. Here I have to tell what are the layers present in the wall, that is in the histology aspect. I told you that I will tell one more point, important issue with reference to appendix in my next video. That's all about this video. Thank you.